situation. And sometimes I know you get impatient, but you don't put on a show to get ovations. Take it to court and go through litigations. And I respect your gangster. Treat you like a princess and put some on your neck to thank you. She's my pinch hitter. When the starting lineup ain't playing right, I come off the bench with her. It might sound like I'm gassing ya, but it takes time to get from the backseat to the passenger. We been creeping and sneaking just to keep it from leaking. We so deep in our freaking that we don't sleep on the weekend. Wifey's a little bit uptight. Wonder why I keep coming home in the middle of the night. It'll be alright if y'all bump heads. It'll be a fight. And what I said, it'll be alright. I really wanna be with you. I wanna be real with you. Can't leave you alone.
Afternoon.
But I can't let you go. You're the one I want in my life. Already got away. Can't leave you alone.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tapping. Welcome to the Friday afternoon check-in and Q&A. I appreciate you. Hey, Naylove. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Welcome in. Come on in. As you come in, introduce yourself. Hello. Tell me where you're checking in from. Hello. The Ash family. And tell me what part of the country you're checking in from. Appreciate you. Ashley from New York City, my home. I am in Delaware now, but I grew up in New York, 40 Projects in Brooklyn. That's where I'm from. Where you from in New York, Ash? And keep tapping the screen as you come in. Introduce yourself. Come on. Appreciate you. Louisiana. Love it. Hey, how we doing? Is that Noah? Or is that? Yes. How we doing, love? Okay, from Brooklyn. Yeah, Canarsie and Flatbush. My wife is from Bed-Stuy. So I also I'm going to be covering some relationship stuff, some mental health stuff, and some self-improvement stuff while answering your questions. I know y'all have Brene questions. I would gladly answer those too, if you want. I don't even know how this box came up with the screens over here. We're not doing that. I'm not inviting anybody up yet. I'm not ready to do the whole panel thing because I just see they sometimes get too out of control. Plus I gotta practice some more because I gotta learn how to get rid of folks when I need to. So right now I'm gonna leave the boxes up. But welcome aboard, guys. Welcome. I appreciate you. Good afternoon. All is well. Listen, I finished up my last counseling session. I am officially off for the weekend. I'm good. And I'm supposed to be going to see hot air balloons tomorrow. I might even fly in one. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I have enough heart to get in a hot air balloon, but I'm actually going to go tomorrow. Something different. Good afternoon. Appreciate you. And again, when you come in, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am Mr. Keith. Crisis, don't do it. Why not, fella? Why I can't get in a hot air balloon? What's wrong with a hot air balloon? Yeah, definitely different. I'm not sure. I might just go to watch. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get in the basket and go up. I'm thinking about it, but, listen, I'm not sure if that's a popular spot with the brothers. I'm just saying. And so, again, what I'm going to do is, you guys know I cover self-improvement, relationships, and mental health. I'm going to cover some personal statements that hopefully you guys can use, as well as I'll answer any questions that you have. So we're going to put this together because I want to make this time productive as well. Let me turn this down here. I want to make this time productive. As you see from my little picture in the back, this is a Q&A. Why, when I get upset, my right arm starts to hurt and burn? I don't know. That might be a ventricle issue. You might want to check, make sure blood flow is what it's supposed to be, because your right arm should not hurt when you're upset. Headaches, I understand, maybe even some chest compressions, but right arm, that normally dictates flow, but I would definitely go get checked out just to make sure. because sometimes the little things are the things that tip off the big things. You want to make sure. And again, thank you for tapping the screen. Please do keep tapping the screen. I appreciate you. And so we go from there. Let's see what we got here. Let me see who asked to come up. Oh, how you doing, Feather? Okay, you know what? Feather lets me come up on her. Okay. Come on up, Feather. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Feather.
Hi. Before you get started, I need to plead my case, okay?
Yes,
Don't get on the hot air balloon, please. It's like one of my ultimate fears. Okay. They cannot steer, okay?
No, they cannot.
Okay. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. I promise. I've thought long and hard about this as I stare up at the daggone thing. When I was growing up, I watched The Mummy. You know how like they put you on the hot air balloon and the mummy returns and it's super like romanticized.
Mm-hmm.
A pilot is controlling like the vertical movement, right? By like heating or cooling the air. But horizontal travel is like dictated by the wind. And so they can hunt for different. Listen, sorry, I'm being a nerd right now. You can't control the steering. Okay, you can't do it. Power
actually
lines.
Depends on where you send the heat from the fire. You could, like you did see in Mummy, and that's actually something my family and I were joking about. We were joking about if I get in, I could end up somewhere over Maryland or over DC, and we were like, because you really can't control it. We were actually talking about that, and so I don't know. It's going to be a game time decision tomorrow, so I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even sure if that's something I want to do, but it's just something to do. My wife asked me about because her and my daughter are going. So I said, you know what, I might take the ride.
Okay. One more argument and then I'll leave you alone. Okay.
Go right ahead.
You're under a hot air balloon that's heated up by flame. Like it's literal combustion. Okay. You know what? God's got you.
No.
Whatever you decide to do, God's got you. Okay.
I am with you. And it's funny. You know what? That's a sign because we were just having this conversation before I got on live. Because I was like, yeah, this is kind of crazy, but I'm normally not one that does crazy things. I just said I was thinking about it. And I know me, once I get in, logic will kick in. And I'm like, nope. Because I'm of the belief that certain things folks ain't supposed to do. But again,
I'm just saying if God wanted us in the air, we'd have wings. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
I got feet, so I got to stay grounded.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. No, I am definitely going to take that into consideration because, like I said, I think it's at the Delaware racetrack, Dover racetrack tomorrow. So I'm not sure. So I might just go and take some pictures. We'll see. So, you know, listen, things are going well right now. I ain't trying to put myself in a position where I don't come home. So trust me, I appreciate that. And I'll probably chicken out once I get there.
You're so welcome. But regardless of what you decide, I hope you have a great time. I was just passing through and I heard hot air balloon. I said, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
No, thank you so much. And keep up the great work that you do and keep it up. Being a certified law nerd, we need to hear that. And again, I think if everybody maximizes their talents and what they do and use them in a productive way, productive things happen. So I appreciate all the work that you do. And I appreciate the time that you allow me when I come on. So thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you, sir. Take care.
Gotcha. Appreciate it. Again, thank you, Feather. Appreciate you. So again, I am Keith the Crisis Specialist. Keith K.L. Bubba is actually my name. And I am a therapist here in Delaware, former educator. And every Friday, I try now, every Friday between after 4 o'clock when I'm done, I'm going to try on to go live. This is actually a Q&A as well as a check-in. So gladly when you pop in, tell me where you're from. I did see a question there. I missed it. It was about Brene. You can always ask me that question again. And I appreciate it. I'm sorry I missed it. So I want to get right into things because in between, I will be talking about self-improvement statements, relationship statements, and some other things. But I'm also here to answer your questions because I know going live, sometimes it is it is a thing. But, you know, I'm here to answer your questions. So let's get right into this as you guys are here. And again, I appreciate you being here. But let's tap that screen. Let's keep those hearts going. The flow of the hearts on the right side. Allow me to know that you guys are enjoying the content, enjoying the conversation. So while you're, let's keep tapping and we go from there. I haven't seen you in a long time. I used to see you weekly. Yes, it's been about 2.5 years, almost 3 years since I was on live on a regular and I stopped. I decided that I went back into private practice and I just felt like I didn't have time. Plus I was getting bored. I'm not going to lie. It just seemed like I was working harder and I was spending more time on live and I wasn't getting a whole lot from it. So I stopped. The reason why I came back now is that I understand my purpose. I know what I'm doing more. And I just feel like I have something to offer those who have questions. I'll go until I either get bored or just starts to become a headache. And once it becomes a headache, I cut it loose. That's the biggest thing for me. So I'm glad to be seen. So again, if you have your questions, feel free to answer your questions. Now, I want to do something. Let me take a poll. What we got here? 47 people. Would you rather me take the questions from the chat, or would you like me to allow people to come up and ask their questions and talk to them directly, as long as it doesn't get out of hand? I understand. You helped me. I'm 63 next week and got married 1 year ago. Congratulations. And I'm glad that I could be of help. Thank you so much. So if you like people to come up, put it in the chat. Say, let them up. Or if you say in the chat, just put in the chat. If you want me to let them up, we can let them up. If you want to keep it in the chat, we keep it in the chat. You tell me, since this is going to be about you guys. I'm good either way. Take it from the chat. That's one. All right, let's go. I'm going to keep chat. That's two. Let them up. Okay. Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. So we 2 and 1 right now. Let them up. 3, 2 and 2, 3 and 2. Let them up. Okay. Greetings from Boston. Shout out to Boston. I haven't been through Boston at both. I always knew there was be somebody say both. Give them a time limit. Oh, yeah. About a minute. 2 minutes. Both. Okay. Both can be tough because now I got to try to watch the chat as well as have somebody up. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Both. Okay. We got a few people saying both. I like it. Okay. Keep going, guys. So it's a little mixed, I see. And I like that. I like the mix. And again, I appreciate you. And all of you that have stopped by my page, I appreciate you. If you follow me, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Your compliments, I appreciate it. I am a real therapist. Yes. I have a whole back screen now, but on my wall, normally my degrees and everything is on there. I have a master's degree in education. I have a master's degree in counseling. I'm a real therapist and a real retired educator. And when I come on, I try to give an honest viewpoint based on my own, what's on the docket. Well, I'm talking self-improvement, relationships, and mental health, but I will gladly answer any questions that you guys have. That's what I'm here for. On the Friday check-ins, let me just give you an idea of how, in my mind, the Friday check-ins will run, is that this is an opportunity for us to talk. Hey, how you doing, Lynn? This is an opportunity for me to talk to you, you talk to me, so I'm here. Hey, Ellie, there's one of my moderators. Shout out to Ellie. What's up, love? It's an opportunity for us to talk. It's an opportunity for me to answer questions. And as long as things, keep it in the chat unless requests to come up. I got you. And as long as people don't get out of hand, we're good. The thing I don't do is drama. I also don't do disrespect. So let me just say that now. If you want to come up here, if you're coming up to ask me about Brene and Tim, ask me. Don't come up and lead with an insult. Her name is Brene. So don't come up with Bernasty and no, we're not doing that. And the reason why is because at the end of the day, respect is still something that you must garner for yourself. I don't care if she's not respectful. She's not disrespectful to me. So there's no reason for me to garner disrespect for her. Does she need help? Yes. Have I offered it? Yes. But what I'm not going to do is co-sign to the disrespect just because you can. We're not doing that. So I try to keep myself to a higher standard. If you choose not to, I get it. Don't come up. Are we good? Okay. Oh, you will be. Thank you. Uh-oh. Yeah, Ellie got an itchy trigger finger. Ellie's back. Let's go, Ellie. And Tina is my other moderator. She'll probably pop in. She's out on the West Coast. So she'll probably pop in a little bit later on. But again, this time is my time to share with you. So if you have questions, come on. And also, please share the live if you believe that there's some people that could benefit from being here. Thank you for liking the live. Please share it, of course, and keep tapping the screen. Any gifts that you give are appreciated, but it is not required. Okay? Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the repost. I appreciate you. So the gifts are always welcome, but they're not required. If you have it, fine. If not, don't worry. It's not about that. It's about the interaction. So I did see some questions earlier. If I missed them, come on back. You can ask your questions, or if you want to come up and ask your questions, come on. And we're going to keep it to about 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and then you can let yourself down. because Ellie will get you. We don't want you to get got. So thank you. Keep tapping. There you go. And y'all remember, I don't do this on a regular, so I'm not gonna sit here and try to coax you into giving me anything other than just tapping the screen. And I'm gonna let you in on the secret. Hey, I like that. There we go. The tapping the screen actually helps me keep my eyes focused. I have ADD. I'd be all over the place. So while I'm waiting for a question, and Ellie, if I miss any questions, love, feel free to bring it back to me. If I miss one, we're good to go. I want to talk about self-improvement. I want to give you one, and these are affirmations or journal prompts or anything that you want to use them for, but I want to talk about self-improvement first. And this is something that, good afternoon, this is something that you can say to yourself, because I find that with self-improvement, we really want to lock in on how we see ourselves. And that is, I am committed to become a better version of myself every day. That is something that you should. How many of you, hey, how you doing, Chocolate City? How many of you have some type of affirmation that you say daily that sounds like that? I am committed to becoming a better version of myself every day. How many of you have an affirmation like that? And if you do, put in the chat, say, I do. If you say something positive about yourself every day. And that's important because you have to speak life into yourself. Have to. You got to love yourself and you got to speak life into yourself. And again, if you have questions, throw them up there. Come on. I do. There we go. Come on. If your affirmation is different than the one that I have just mentioned, feel free to put it in the chat. Let me see some of your affirmations if you have it. What are some of the things that you say that you are trying to become the better version of yourself? How lovely, D. I am committed to becoming a better version of myself every day. What does that look like for you? I didn't think about that. I've been working on my marriage. I say, how can I be a better spouse? There you go. Same thing, working on yourself. I embrace the challenge today with confidence. Yes, I like that. And let me tell you why words are powerful. We hear ourselves say it, and if we can speak it into existence, we can become it. Your confidence has to get to a point where it oozes out of you, but not with arrogance. One of the things that we're noticing here on social media and other places, arrogance seems to be at the forefront of a lot of people's movements. When you don't have to be arrogant. There's no reason to flex on somebody. Just be the best version of yourself. Not every day I do them, but only when they come up. I got you. If you do them only when they come up, doesn't that open the door for some negativity that you got to fight with? I'm just asking. Is that Sula, if I said that right? And if you want to come up, come on up. If you have something you want to ask me directly or speak to me directly, feel free to invite yourself up. And if you do come up, let's keep it around 2 minutes, unless we really get into it. And I'll keep you here for a little bit longer. So again, fire away at your questions. And like I said, I have some statements on relationships and mental health because I did want to bring something to the table as well. Those are the 3 areas that I focus on when I come on social media: self-improvement, relationships, and of course, mental health. Because I'm a big believer in relationships. I'm also a big believer in self-improvement because we have to work on ourselves. A lot of times in therapy, I'm bringing to the table, let's see, how can someone who's been working on restoring marriage restore trust? Consistent positive communication, consistent positive work together. Build together to restore whatever was missing, whatever was broken, whether it was cheating, whether it's finances, whatever it is. Consistent positive communication, consistent positive work. As you guys build on the relationship, as you guys build on your communication, the trust will start to return because you will see that each of you are moving in a direction that you both can benefit from. First, acknowledge whatever was wrong. You have to. Acknowledge whatever was wrong and then start to work on it by communicating about what we're going to do. And it always comes down to doing the work, guys. You got to do the work. If you don't do the work, you cannot get to anywhere that you're trying to go. In marriage, relationship, whatever. But you got to do the work. Even the Bible says faith without works is dead. So even the Lord says faith ain't enough. You got to do the work. So if I got to do the work just to get to heaven, I definitely got to do the work down here to make my relationship, my marriage, whatever work. Whether that's at work, whether it's with your kids, whether it's with your spouse, your lover, whoever, you got to do the work. Because the work is the bond. The work is what creates the bond. The better the work, the better the memories, the better the experiences. Again, the tighter you guys get together. Appreciate it. Thank you for liking the live. Appreciate you. So again, any other questions, fire away. Come on. And if I miss it, feel free. You're good to go. Okay. Feel free.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, and I'm the CEO of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us for the next webinar where you can drill deeper.
How can I let go and embrace the forgiveness? That is a tough one, and that is actually one of the areas that I work on when I'm working with couples, and I'll ask both the couples, one, are you ready to do the work to gain back your spouse's trust? But then the person who's been hurt, one of the things that I will talk about is, are you ready to allow your spouse to gain your trust back? So there's two levels of work that has to be done. The person who's hurt has to find a way to be okay with accepting forgiveness. The person who did the hurting has to do the yeoman's work. They got to do the bulk of the work. And that is to be able to make sure that they're showing that they are different. The more open you are about the work, the more honest you are about the work, the better it becomes. And that helps you, because then the person can start to allow themselves to accept the forgiveness, or be able to build on the forgiveness. Anything else? Come on. By all means, if you have any questions, come up. I'm like, what's going on? Yes, if you like, there you go. Wave your hand or come on up. Diablo. Oh man, let me switch watches here. Keep tapping the screen. Come on, guys. If you have any questions, you got me here. Come on, ask your questions. I am here to answer your questions. I'm here to help. How long should you wait to get married if you've been dating for a year and coming out of marriage? Well, first of all, I say don't even get serious for the first year, because you want to be able to give yourself a chance to heal. You want to go out here and try to date multiple people just to kind of get a feel for what it is that you want. I'm not sure why you're unable to pin comments. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's the boxes on the side, Ellie. But yeah, I wouldn't even be serious after a year, only because you want to see who's earned the spot, who's earned the right to be at the forefront of your life, especially if you want to make sure you're healed. If you've been doing the work, then after a year, you can start to look at some people in a more serious way if you've been doing the work to fix you, and they've been doing the work to actually court you and date you and all the things like that. Yeah, that would be cool, and you could do that. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm always big for telling people that you should date a whole year before you get serious about anybody anyway, simply because you want to be able to see where you are with things. Can you rebuild the relationship with your child if they have felt like you abandoned them? If you do the work. If you do the work, yes. If y'all do the work, you can. And that's the biggest key, is anything can be dealt with if you do the work. If y'all are in therapy, or y'all just are sitting down and having a conversation, the key is to address what created the issue. If you abandoned them because you just didn't know how to be a parent, own that. And then be able to say to them, you're sorry, but then do the work. It always going to come down to doing the work. First is the acknowledging of the thing, and then it's the work that has to be done. Once you do the work, you're good, because now the work will start to reveal what you're really serious about and what you're trying to be. And that'll work. And now you can only offer. If the child doesn't want to have anything to do with you, okay. How do you unlearn holding grudges? That's a tough one, because the question becomes, how old are you? But more importantly, why are you holding on to the grudge? If you feel that the only way you can focus in life is by being mad at somebody that was mad at, that did something to you, then what you have to work on is you have to learn to work on your ability to let things go. Your ability to be honest about why you feel the way you feel. Why is the grudge even necessary for you? We know what they did. Because here's the thing, if they're not continually hurting you, then you're carrying negativity forward. So you're hurting yourself over again because the person is not continually hurting you. They've already hurt you. So now professional help would help you as well. Getting professional help would definitely be a way to help you deal with that, because this way, weekly or bi-weekly, you can sit down and engage or get the tools necessary to be comfortable with yourself, with your negative feelings. And that would help things. And you go from there. So that's always a good thing. I spilled the water myself. In my 40s, too old to be holding them. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, actually, any age is too old to be holding on to grudges, because holding on to a grudge hurts you. It's not hurting the person who hurt you. It's hurting yourself. You have any advice on rebuilding your self-esteem after a traumatic relationship? Yes. One, get professional help. Actually, I even wrote a book on it. And start reading. Start allowing other people who have created. Actually, where's it at? All right. So like, here's my book. I don't think you can see it. It's 12 Steps to Recovery. Nope, you can't see it here. I got to change the picture in the background. But I wrote a book, 12 Steps to Recovering from a Toxic Relationship, because I wanted to help people figure out how to deal with the negative situation. So again, it's a matter of, you have to breathe life into yourself. You have to connect your self-worth to something deep inside you. You have to watch your self-talk. You have to position yourself to become a new you. Fall in love with yourself all over again. And go from there. And I think it's super important, because self-esteem connects to how you value yourself. Do you think watching Brené's situation concerns me because now I don't know my friend's intentions? That's the danger of watching somebody you don't know and then comparing it to yourself. You don't know if you and your friends have the same situation that Brené and Akira did. And also, you and your friends, you should have a reason for your friendship with somebody that has nothing to do with Brené and Akira. Listen, when you watch a movie and a person gets done dirty in a movie, you don't automatically turn to your friend and look at him and say, now you may joke and laugh, but you better not do anything like that to me. Your friend should be in your life because you vetted them, you have a history with them, a relationship with them. You should want and enjoy yourself with them and go from there. That's how it should be. I'm not worried about the Brené and Akira situation, because people are going to do people dirty every day. You hear that. But the more you watch anything negative, the more it causes introspection, which then introspection, and then you start questioning things to yourself when you don't have to. Want to come up, but I'm at work. I have to wait 30 minutes to try to come in and talk. Okay, I should be here. I don't know why all of a sudden I got some indigestion. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so that's the key, is that anything is about it's about understanding why something is a thing. So Brené and Akira is a thing for them. It's not a thing for us watching. That's why I don't understand why people tie such emotion to something. But what it tells me is that we have a ton of unresolved issues that people are dealing with that Brené has triggered within them. And we need to pay attention to that. It's a red flag. There's no sparks, fireworks at the beginning of a romance. Is it? It all depends. What did y'all actually do at the start of a relationship? If both of y'all were corny, what fireworks is there going to be? So the real question is, did y'all actually take the time out to really get to know each other to create the fireworks? Remember, fireworks need something combustible and something that's going to start the fire. So if you don't have that at the beginning, why would there be fireworks? So it really comes down to what is it that you actually put together at the very beginning? Do you feel more single women are not respecting marriage boundaries? That has to do with the spouse. I can't put that on single women. They're going to want what they want. Men and women going to want what they want. It has to do with the spouse. That's why Tim is the villain. Brene could want to give away sex all she wants. Tim had to say yes. It's always on the other person who decided to give it away. Somebody could want. There's always going to be somebody who finds you attractive. There's always going to be somebody who wants you, male or female. The question is, did your significant other put them on? And if they put them on, then it's on them. I'm trying to figure out that myself. I've never been in a Kira situation, and most people haven't. The case is different because most people don't play out loud everything that they're dealing with. So we're getting to see all this firsthand. That's what makes this different. And that's the key, is that it has nothing to do, it has nothing to do with being single. It has to do with the significant other of the other person. Like in the movie Boomerang, when he was like, yo, I went to go see Jacqueline and some things came up, and he said, you know, she's like, love should have brought your ass home last night, which is true. It don't make a difference what somebody offer you or what somebody wants to do with you. It has to do with you respecting yourself and your marriage. And that's why Tim is the villain to me. And I would like to talk to him. He's the person that holds all the keys to this. Now, some of this has been taken out of his hand because Akira has moved on. And that's important too, because it's like, all right, she's moved on. It is what it is. You got to deal with it. But one of the things that's super important is that he has to understand that now y'all got a co-parent. So you can't be online disrespecting her because your new wife wants that, or your new wife is even encouraging that. Brene is doing what she does because Tim allows her. Now, that doesn't give her carte blanche to do it, and it doesn't give her covering. It means that she is still responsible for her own behaviors, but she's only doing what she's being allowed to do. And so that's part of it too, is you can't do the things that you're doing and think that there's no repercussions to it, because there is. And that's one of the things that Tim is allowed. That's why I like to talk to him, because he has to calm this down, because you left your wife. You still have kids. There's still a lot of nuances to this. And I hope, and he needs to kind of dead this before he goes to court, because once he goes to court, he's going to be very embarrassed. Once Devin has his time in court, Tim can hang it up. And if I'm him, I don't even want that information to come out. I just take my whipping and settle up now. I really would. Hello. Hey, Tab. What's going on? How are you, Tab? Honestly, I would just settle up, take my L, create a, like, look, can we settle for $1 million? Can we settle for 500,000? You know I'm broke. I honestly would try to settle up early. Hey, how we doing, love? And the reason why is because I don't see him winning, and I see him running through 30, 40, whatever amount of money they want to spend, whether it's his money, Brene's money, it's their money, they're married. I'm not running through 30, 40, $50,000 only to lose and then still owe $1 million, $3 million, whatever it's going to be. Take your L, get a settlement, and then you and your wife figure out how y'all going to start paying this back and start your life all over again, because once it goes to court, this is a bad situation. Once this goes to court, information that's going to come out is going to look bad for both of them. Do you think Tim's still there because he loves her? Or see, it all depends on what their definition of love is. I don't think they actually know what real love is. And I think they're mooching off each other for whatever reason, financially as well as emotionally and possibly sexually. But neither one of them really understand what love is, or they wouldn't be in this situation. So right now, when your back's up against the wall, you might think the only person that you got is the person that you committed the crime with. Oh, I've said the same thing about Brene too. She should have cut a deal, but you know, this is the situation. Her ego is in the way, and this is why I made the offer to speak to her too, because she needs to sit down with somebody who doesn't want anything from her and who's not looking to be disrespectful. I'm not looking to be disrespectful. I'm looking to try to offer assistance to both of them, because they're kids, and they got to stop this now so they can spend the next 20, 30 years trying to fix some things. Right now, there's no future in the direction that they're going in. Right now, owing 1.8 million, there's no future. And when you have no future, you just stop caring. There's kids that's got to be cared for. You got to figure this out, because you've already lost everything, and you're probably going to lose everything. That's the bigger problem. that you're going to lose everything, and you just haven't realized yet. The courts haven't caught up with you. They will. And that's the one thing. Please understand, the IRS, the courts, they all catch up. And when they do, it's always worse than if you had just dealt with it up front. You can't run. I see it with people who don't want to pay child support, male and female. I see it with people that play around with the IRS. And when it comes, it always comes at a bad time. Unfortunately, I think all they do is lie to you too. Now they don't have a choice, because if they tell the truth, it's not going to be believed. So she still got to make money. So she got to rage bait you guys and say things that she knows going to get you upset. They're in a bad spot. They're in a corner that they can't get out of. If they tell the truth, no one's going to believe them. That's why I'm saying, let's sit down and talk, because at least if nothing else, you could gain some content to show that you're able to have real conversations, answer real questions, and not the fraudulent stuff. You got a lengthy question, so come on up and ask me. Come on up. Instead of typing it, come on up. You sent the request? All right, let me see what's going on here. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm supposed to be looking at this screen a little bit more. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got a few. We got L here. Okay, let me do that. Sorry, L. I didn't see the Q. Let me get L up here. So Ellie's up here. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so let's see what we got here. All right, so it looks like Felisa was first. So let me do that first. Let me answer for. Let me get Felisa up, because it looks like she asked first. Hey, Felisa, what's going on? Hello. Hello. Hello, Felisa. You have a question? Hello. Okay, she's gone. So coming on up. Next person, come on up. Welcome up.
Hey, Mr. Keith.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
All is well. I don't know. All of a sudden, I just got a little indigestion, but I'm good. Listen, it is what it is. It's the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I get it. Hope it feel better soon.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. How are you, and how can I be of help today? What's your question?
Okay, so one, I'm trying to pace myself because I am nervous because I've never been on one of these things before. So,
Oh, take your time. Take your time. It's just like talking to your cousin. You good. Just take a deep breath, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just focus on what you want to say. You're going to be fine. You don't have to be, there's no reason to be nervous. I'm good. You're good as well.
wonderful. All right, so I have a question, and it's kind of related to like the single married conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an older single woman, and
Okay.
I have like a general rule as far as like I do not have any private conversations with married men. And if married men are trying to have a private conversation, I always I always loop their wife in. So, and that's only under like necessary circumstances. So like maybe in a church setting and we're working on, there's certain projects you may be working on with people.
Mm-hmm.
Respond if your pastor's reaching out to you, or I don't gosh, maybe a coworker is sending you a text message. I do not like having private conversations with married men. I just think it's inappropriate. I don't think we really need to be talking unless it's necessary. And so I think that I had a situation in which a pastor reached out to me, and before I didn't respond to him privately. I ended up looping his wife into the message, just to respond. I just like to be out in the open. And so I've been challenged stating that my rules concerning engagement with married men is a bit rigid and is more than likely a trauma response, to which I disagree. I just feel like there's no reason to have any kind of private conversations, even in the appearance of innocence, And so, I don't know. I guess I wanted to get your thoughts, because I'm like, okay, well, God, am I being too rigid? Am I being too strict? You know?
Well, I think rigid is a little harsh. Here's the thing. There's nothing really wrong with it, except I would say, what's the premise of the message? Because you're an adult and you're a grown woman. Grown people can have conversations and not have to worry about the spouse being there if there's no anything with the conversation. Now, the relationship between the husband and wife, that relationship, if you know about it, fine. That's one of the things that you do want to make sure is like, hey, does your wife know you're talking to me? But the question, the conversation itself, the message should tell you everything. Because if a person is being direct, I'll give you an example. Ellie is on right here. So I think it was 2 years ago, Ellie. I think it's 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, I was in North Carolina and I got a chance to meet Ellie.
2 years ago.
About 2 years ago, I got a chance to meet Ellie. She came up from South Carolina and I was in North Carolina. We got a chance to catch up, talk, got something to eat with her and her children. My wife knew about it because I was at the hotel and I said, I'm getting ready to go over to Chick-fil-A and meet one of the young ladies from my TikTok page, and we talked. I didn't have to call my wife at the Chick-fil-A, and there was nothing rude or disrespectful, and I wasn't rude in any negative way towards Ellie, and we had a wonderful time. We got to meet each other because she was doing the moderation for my room, and that's it. And there's been no other contact or anything like that. So what I'm saying to you is, what it comes down to is what the message is for and what the person is asking you to do. You have discernment. And if you got men attracted to you, you can look at a message if a person is trying to move you into a position somewhere that's not cool and be like, hold on a second, why you want to know this? And you can always call a person on a message if you're not sure, like, why are you asking me that? But that's the key, is like, adults are going to be adults. If a person is being childish and they're married, then you definitely want to distance yourself from that. And then if you want to, yes, you can say, hey, listen, go talk to your wife about that. And then I would let a wife know, say, hey, I was talking to your husband. I don't want it to turn into anything. If you get some type of vibe or some type of feeling, but I'm not going to create the unnecessary drama for no reason. And you sound as if you can carry yourself well. So I wouldn't stress. I would just pay attention to the message. How you set your rules up for you is perfectly fine. As long as is you're not like, because I don't know if you need to go contact the wife for everything, because then it's like, then it looks like it's something when it's nothing. And that's the only thing I'm saying is I don't want you to create a situation out of no situation, because now the wife is like, why is she calling me? And why is she reaching out to me? What did you say? And now you don't know what their relationship is. Always keep it business, always keep it professional, always keep it above board. You shouldn't have any issue. I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. I think I do have this concern of it being misinterpreted, or I never want to leave room for any kind of inappropriate interactions, because I have had that. And sometimes some married men will start off innocently, but then there will be a sharp turn in the conversation along the line.
It stops right there. And it stops right there. Always remember, the fire starter is the one who says yes. See, a person could try, take your shot, but the minute it turns away from being professional, dead it right there. Say, no, I'm sorry, you're a married man. Go ask your wife that and leave it alone. And then close the door immediately. And if the person continues to try to open the door, then if you want to go talk to the wife, go right ahead, because you've already said no. Boundaries are non-negotiables. And my boundary is not negotiable because I created it to keep myself safe. So I'm not going to try to keep myself safe and then negotiate how I keep myself safe with somebody I don't have an interest in.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Keith. I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. You have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
So again, guys, remember, in any relationship, it is about boundaries, communication. Trust comes from consistent positive communication, consistent positive interaction, because you have something that you can lean on. Now, if you have individual boundaries or the way that you treat yourself, if you think they're too rigid, this is what adult conversations are for. This is what talking to other people are for. I don't necessarily go, oh, okay, my friend said, if it works for you, it works, as long as you can understand why you're doing it. Ellie,
Keith,
you were single at one point before you got married. How was that for you?
Yes, I would like to add something. I do commend the person who asked the question, because I think it's important that people do establish boundaries when it comes to married couples. I think the friends on the outside should be saying, well, I'm not going to call this person at a certain place at a certain time of day, for a certain reason. But my question to the person who asked the question would be, is it that you don't trust yourself? Do you think the temptation is too great? But she answered the question during her comment that she's had dialogue with married men and the conversation went left. So, but I do agree with what you said. Once it does go left, then that's when you have to address it. But I think, I would find it suspicious if one of my husband's female business partners called me out the blue and said, oh, well, let's loop Onika in. I wouldn't appreciate that, because I'm like, well, why is there a need to loop me in?
Exactly. What's going on that I need to be in?
That would raise my antennas. But I just think that friends, just need to respect the marriage boundaries. That person will always be your friend. You don't have to speak every day to be friends. You don't have to spend every moment of your day together to be friends. And I think, people get lost in that. Oh, well, we used to talk every day. Okay, but now I'm married and we can't talk every day, and we can't talk at 1:00 in the morning. It's just, the friendships have to change as well. The friendships
something, and I appreciate that, Ellie, because here's the thing, and that's interesting you just said that. You can't act single while you're married. Let's make that understood. There are things you gave up or decided to give up the minute you said I do. So we can't act like a single person in marriage. Now, friendships don't have to end, but they definitely have to change. And the reason why they change is because it's based on the boundaries set within the relationship itself. But that should be understood long before you get married, because your husband should know your friends, and the wife, you should know all his friends. And the people that are going to be close to you should understand what y'all both are about and expect. And anybody who does not respect that, why are they close to you? And why are we even wasting time with them? You got to learn how to give people the boot at the moment that you do. All right, let's see who else wants to come up. I got to remember to take a look at this thing here. Okay, let's see. This is Drea. And then I'll go to the next one here. There we go. Come on up. Welcome up. Hello. Is that Dream? Let me see. I'm missing some more I got here. Okay. Hey, Dreamy. Oh, did she just disappear? We lost Dreamy. Oh, no. All right. We'll have her come back up if she comes back up. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome aboard. You came up by accident. Okay, I got you. Hello. How can I be of service? What's the question that you have? Who we got here? Let's see. Fave. Hello. Oh, okay. We got another one disappeared. Oh, y'all don't want to talk to me today? I'm feeling so jilted. And any questions in the chat, by all means, let me reset just for a little bit. I am Keith the Crisis Specialist. I am a mental health therapist who works out of a private practice in Southern Delaware. And this is what I do. I'm also a retired educator. So by all means, I am here to check in with you guys as well as to answer any questions that you have. Good afternoon. So if you have any questions, feel free. If you want to come on up, come on up. If I miss you, I'm looking at here in my little corner to invite you up. If you want to come and ask the question live and have the live conversation with me, by all means, come on. I'm trying to once a week come on after 4 o'clock. Now I go back to bowling, I think next week. So I'll be on between 4 and 5:30. I probably could do about an hour and a half before I got to get dressed to go bowling. We'll see. But yeah, definitely about an hour and a half. So, but again, keep tapping the screen. I don't see any hearts. Come on, tap the screen. Let's get some hearts. Let's shoot for 50,000 hearts, whatever that takes to get there. No rush. Let's tap the screen so this way we can let TikTok know we are here and other people can make their way over here. Let's go. Keep tapping the screen. I appreciate you. Oh, we got somebody who wants to come up. Come on up. Let's see what we got here. And we ain't doing no battles. Oh, we got Maria. Hello, Maria.
Hello, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Throughout this entire situation with the Brene and Tim situation, I wanted to get your opinion. Do you think that it is that it has proven, I guess, to be unhealthy to be as passive as Devin and Akira was, to the degree that they were, because on one hand, you have a young lady who is a believer and believe that you should not question your husband, and undoubtedly just allowed him to make all the decisions without question, right? And then on the other hand, you had Devin, who also undoubtedly allowed Brene to just do whatever she wanted to do, however she wanted to do, to the degree of even bringing another man into his home. I just, when thinking and looking at people go over the court documents and their responses and their story as to what happened while, she was in court, I couldn't believe it. I was like, that level of passivity is dangerous.
Yeah.
How could you just I understand being a believer in the Bible and all of that, but I often wonder if Akira's mother feels some kind of way because you inadvertently and unintentionally, this would have never gone on if she wasn't so passive, both her and Devin. And I just don't
Let me stop you for a second, because here's the problem with speculation. We don't know that. So we have to go on what we do know. We don't know how passive she was. And I don't like to paint anybody with a brush if I don't have all the information. Based on what we see, she was passive, but you don't know how hard she fought in private. You don't know how upset she was. We don't know all of the information that went on. What we do know from the court case is what they allowed. But also you have to take into account age. You have to take into account experience. This was Devin's first person ever being intimate with. This was Akira's husband, who she had multiple babies with. This was her friend. And so a lot of this, as it's unfolding, they don't have the muscle memory to know how to deal with it because they've never dealt with it. So a lot of times when you're dealing with something that you've never had the opportunity to actually know what to do, you kind of resort back to a default position. And the faith part is different too, because we don't know how knowledgeable of the faith or how the faith is practiced in their home. So we got to be careful when we bring the faith to the table, because knowledge of is not knowledge, complete knowledge of a thing. I may have knowledge of what the Bible says, but I may not be able to live it simply because we don't know. And as for moms, we don't know what moms might have wanted to put into motion, which then was overridden by Akira or whatever. So I think what has to happen is, if we just look at the way it is, the passiveness might just be due to the fact that they just didn't know what to do. Also, I believe educationally, I don't know if they're all on a higher level intellectually. And I think that opens the door to a lot of what you've seen, because all four of them hung out, which means all four of them had similar likes, similar joys, and all this other stuff, which I don't know if it's a matter of being the deepest intellectual conversations that was had. You see that they all like to act a little silly when they were together and all this other stuff, which then can create an issue. And I think what we have to look at is, once this starts to blow up and we get the benefit of a 2020 look at something after the fact, it's real easy to pull apart compared to what was it in the moment. What was it at the time? He had cheated before. She might not have known what to do. You don't know what she was saying to him. You don't know what he was saying in between the sheets and in between his I'm sorry's. And we don't know what Brene was saying in terms of I'll help you because I know him. We don't know. So if we just go on what we've seen, it's bad. But I think that's part of, unfortunately, the negative experiences that help us to grow, is that once these situations happen, what do? And I think that's part of it too. And I think that's what also causes the deep hurt that you have seen in things that she's written, that you see in Devin in terms of how he's still going at her in terms of getting his voice heard in his time in court, because he wants to say how he feels. And when all this is going on, there's a point when we all start to realize that the passiveness, I shouldn't have did that. We just have the luxury of being able to watch them in real time. So there's no way of knowing, but yes, there was a part of passivity that created this issue. And then also when you're dealing with dominant personality, sometimes it's hard to push back against someone that you don't know how to push back against. Sometimes you don't know how to fight until you're taught how to fight or until you've been hurt enough. So we just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, I'm really, I don't want to come off like I mean, it's just really hard not to ask that question and also not to be a little judgmental, because I can tell you, my father would, it's hard, right? My dad would have never allowed me to drop out of school.
I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna tell you why. That's the mistake that a lot of people make. Don't do that. The minute you make it about yourself, you change the narrative, because they didn't have your father and they're not you. And I'm not saying in a rude way. I'm saying that we gotta be careful not to project, because when we project, it allows us to shape the narrative in a way that allows it to make sense to us. My thing is, let it stay confusing, because then that allows us to wait on the information that needs to come out for us to be able to fill in what makes sense. Because the reason why I bring that up is, if I was to able to say to you, what if Brene had been abused, which I think she was when she was younger, then it would not only make sense to some of her behavior, it would actually fill in some of the gaps that we don't know. We don't know. So I can't say, well, I experienced it. And I hate when I hear people say, well, I know how Akira feels. You do not. You know how you felt in her situation. But the reason why we have to be careful with projecting it outwardly is because then we lose sight of what we've actually been given, which is a morsel. We haven't been given the meal. And that's the issue right there. So I would just say that that's the only reason why I stop you, is because it becomes an issue, because many of us would not have allowed it. But we say that, but we don't know, because we don't have all of the actual information. Make sense?
No, yeah, it makes sense. I was just reflecting on the answers that Akira herself gave during the courts.
And how do you know they're not set up that way to gain attention to win the case?
I mean, I think to your point, there's a lot that we obviously just don't know. Yeah.
And we don't know that once this became a legal thing, all that is a ploy. That's another reason why I don't project until we get more information, because I've seen these legal fights. And once a lawyer is involved, the lawyer's job is to win. And if the win is to make the jury feel bad about the person who's the victim, why not?
But I will definitely settle on this. This has definitely been a cautionary tale.
Oh, yeah, without question. Anytime we get the luxury of seeing behind the curtain, it should give us all concern. But again, we have to make sure we keep an eye on that and not internalize it, because I know this triggers a lot of people. But that's what I guess I want people to not do, is be triggered by someone they don't know, or address what they're being triggered by and deal with that. Because we're projecting it out. And then here's the thing. People are pounding so bad on Brene that they're not giving her a chance to change. So why should she? There's no out. So how is she going to change if nobody wants to give her the opportunity to do so? We are judge, jury, executioner, and everything else, and we don't have all the information.
Yeah, this is definitely, I tell you, it has been for the past, 2 years, 2.5 years?
3, I think.
Yeah, it has been something on social media for sure. But no,
Maria,
thank you.
I appreciate you. I'm gonna move on to somebody else, but I thank you so much. I appreciate it, because these are the type of conversations that I would love to have people have more of, instead of just the vitriol of going at her. Because again, we want to be able to see an outcome, but then see what the outcome is going to be. Well, she shouldn't rely her change on us. That's between her and God. No, that's true. But once she made it public, we are going on what she says. Her change is her change. Her change is going to be on her. But when we speak on what we see, then that's another thing too. We want to be able to come from a position, hopefully from a position where we do offer a person to make amends. But a lot of people don't do that. They're automatically saying you are what you are, and that's it, and I don't want to hear anything about it. And I get it. Everybody has to make the moves that work for them. And because she puts it out public and because she's antagonistic, then that causes the ire of all the people on social media, and that creates the problem. And that's what we have to try to look at. I believe she can change. I do. I hope she does. Because only Brene can save Brene. Well, Brene can actually start the fix. She can get help from professional places and God himself. But she has to be the one that actually puts it into motion. And once she puts it into motion, things can change. And that's what I'm hoping. And that's what I look at and why I've even offered to talk to her, because the goal is to be able to offer her assistance, because right now, where's she getting it from? And this is super critical. I conduct myself in a way that I'm always trying to figure out how to help people. I'm not here to just pile on because I can. It's too easy. It's really low-hanging fruit because she makes it too easy. And then the fact that now it generates income for other people. There's no reason why people are going to stop. Why would people stop pouring the negativity onto her when they're making money off of her? It's not going to stop. That's why I said the best thing she can do now is cut her losses. Work it out with the court, apologize to Akira in private first, then come on social media and explain the apology that was given. Apologize to Devin, but I would wait for social media to be the last thing, because I would take care of all the inner workings first. I take care of the courts first. I take care of Akira first. I take care of Devin first. Then I come on to social media and say, okay, guys, I know y'all been on me, but I have apologized. And really go into it. And then you don't owe social media any explanation, but then you got to take a break from this. Come on, let everybody know what you've done. Tell them that you've attempted to try to fix this. You've done what you had to do, and then take a break from this so people can choose another target to go after. But she antagonizes and pokes the bear, and that in turn causes people to dislike her, borderline hate her more. So there's no out for her. And that's the thing. And I think it's because she doesn't know that there is a way out. There's no way out of this clean. That's the thing. I think she keeps thinking she's going to get out of this clean. There's no getting out of this clean. You're going to pay a price. The skin is in the game. And you got to give up what you got to give up. And the 1.8 ain't going nowhere. And she should have stopped this long before it got to that point. Now with the 1.8, that's a bid. Whew. That's a walk-in jail sentence. Oh, there's that. It's more than mud. It's poo-poo. And she's up to it to the earlobes. But she got to be able to climb out of it and clean herself off and just take the L. Just take the L. The more you prolong the L, the worse it gets. You just got to accept it. Be like, all right, let me grab my toes and just whatever's going to happen, and then go on and take care of yourself. She thinks she's going to win that appeal. See, that's the thing, is that the appeal is you have to show that negative things happen within the case itself. I don't necessarily know that. But again, I'm not a lawyer. And I've talked to lawyers, and some lawyers have said there's a possibility. And anytime there's a possibility, for some people, that's all they need. Some people, they just need a small chance to think. And I'll be honest with you, owing 1.8, a small chance is better than no chance. Now, is it going to cost her more? Yes. The interest is running and everything else. And then she still got the case with Devin that, don't seem to be taken serious. But if you got to pay him, now you jammed up. And thank you so much. Hey, there we go. Thank you so much for the hearts. Again, I appreciate you. Thank you for tapping the screen. If you have any other questions, come on up here and talk to me. Come on. I'm here. Or if you want to put your questions in the chat, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Shout out to my moderator, Ellie. Hey, let me do this because it's been a long while. I need all of y'all in the chat to put up purple hearts for Ellie. She's been here with me rocking. I'm so glad she came back to join me as a moderator. So let's put a purple heart in the chat just to say thank you to Ellie being a moderator for me. Let's do that, please. Thank you. There we go. There we go. Come on. Thank you so much. Because again, teamwork makes the dream work. But again, you can't get anywhere without the help of somebody. You're welcome, Ellie. You need to have good people around you. And remember, always highlight, always thank quality people that are around you. Thank you so much for the Purple Hearts. Always give people the shine who help you. Always remember that. Do you think she is dangerous to be around the kids? I'm going to be honest with you. My position has changed. I now believe that if, with the way she's being pressed, yes, I didn't before, but in the last couple of months, I wouldn't want the kids around because I don't trust Tim. I already think Tim is the villain, but I'm starting to see signs of depression in her eyes. I don't know if I want children around that. And as a professional, I would make the argument that I don't think right now children should be outside of the original parent, Akira, because to me, she has the more stable home. And I think once this is said and done, then I can see the kids and everybody being reunited. But right now, no, I just don't think his kids, and I hate to take anybody's kids from anybody, I just don't think he should have access to the kids right now because of the instabilities that are shown between them and online, and the fact that so much is connected online. And again, we go with what we've seen. That video where he was playing the video games and she was there watching and the kids was calling, the look on his face when he had to stop his conversation with Kayla to go check on his own children, that is troublesome to me. Because why are you so upset to go deal with your children so you can't get to do what you want to do? That is a problem. Your kids are not a burden. Just like when I hear people go, I'm babysitting my kids. You're not babysitting your kids. You're watching your kids. They're your kids. Stop it. Male or female. So after that, and the more I start thinking about it, that's another thing I would like to talk to them about, because I want them to understand that the damage to children with this whole situation can be lifelong. And because I deal with it on a regular, I am nervous with the way that I have seen this could turn out for the kids. So again, to answer your question, yes, I would literally say I think the kids should be with mom for now until the court case is over. All right, who wants to come up here? Let's see who we got. Nikki wants to come up. Come on up, Nick. I thought I hit the button. There we go. And again, I am Keith the Crisis Specialist. Welcome here to the Friday check-in and the Friday Q&A. So where did Nikki go? Oh, she didn't come up. Y'all gonna stop inviting yourselves up here and disappearing. Don't be scared. Come on now. I'm cool. I don't bite. And I'm definitely not rude. So again, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Or if you want to come on up. Oh, we got another. Is that her coming up again? Let's see. Okay, we got Sula coming up if I said that right. And Sula, if I said it wrong, please let me know. Hello, Sula. Did I say that right?
Hi. Yes, you
Hello.
said. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm muted or not. I never want.
Did I get your name right?
Hello?
Hello, did I get your name right?
So, yes, you did.
Okay. Come on. What's your question?
So my question, I asked the question earlier about your child having a relationship with your child if they're upset because they think that you abandoned them.
Okay.
So to put that in context, my son was 21, almost 22, when I moved from East Coast to West Coast. And basically, I didn't pick up and just say, today I'm leaving, and I left. I announced in, say, January that I was leaving, but I wasn't sure exactly when. And then when I got closer to the date, I tried to prepare him, making sure he had somewhere to live, that he was stable, or as stable as he could be.
Okay.
But basically, I think I sort of went through And the best way I can explain it is I was overwhelmed. I was married, but I wasn't happy. And I wasn't happy. And when I went home, it was like I couldn't enjoy being home. So, and I was overwhelmed because I did everything. By then, my husband had gotten to a point where he couldn't work. He never really worked before that, but he did stuff. But I basically, and the best way I can explain it was, I was a married person that lived a single life.
I got you.
Meaning I was faithful to my husband, but I lived a single life. I took care of my house. I took care of my home. Me and my mother lived together until she passed away. And then it was my son and I. And it wasn't until my son went to college that my husband was there a lot more. Now, he was always around, but he wasn't there. We had our own space. And I think part of it was after my son went to college and he was around all the time, I no longer had that space. Like, I was used to just going home and relaxing, and I couldn't do that. Or I was always working. I always worked 2 to 3 jobs because I had to pay bills.
Okay.
And so I guess my son, me and him were fine for the first few years that I was away. It wasn't until after he got married that things changed.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say mid-20s. So it's been about 4 or 5 years. And then all of a sudden it was, you abandoned me. Even though I was still...
Hold on one second. So
trying
what
to
is he,
take-
when he's saying you abandoned him, what is he referencing when you say you abandoned him? Because he got married. So
Well,
I'm trying to say,
So this was his thing.
mm-hmm,
In one of the conversations we had,
mm-hmm,
he said to me, "You left. I didn't. You got rid of the house. You left me with no car. Meaning, when I left, I just let my car go.
okay,
So it was let them come get the car. So he felt as though I didn't leave him with a house to live in, a car to drive, and money.
Did y'all ever have a
So I
conversation that was what was going to be left for him?
No.
So,
And he, at that point, he couldn't have taken over any of that.
yeah. And so that's what I'm asking is because if you didn't have a conversation about what you were going to leave him, then what he wants is what he wants. What he got is what he got. As long as it wasn't in a disrespectful way, you were entitled to the life that you created for yourself. He went to college, he got married. So right at that point, once you hear marriage, he's supposed to disconnect from you anyway. So to feel you abandoned him because he didn't get, that's a problem for him that he has to work out that he feels that way, and why he feels that way would require professional help because you don't owe him anything other than what you were doing, which is to get him to the point that he's an adult. If he could actually go out and have a whole relationship now, from listening, he went to school, which means he went and got a whole education.
The thing is, so when I left, yes, he had went to college, but he ended up not finishing.
Okay.
He just didn't do well he just went the first year and just pissed it off. So
I understand.
So when I left, he was working. He had started renting a room. We were heavy in church. So he had started renting a room from one of the guys who had houses. Now, during the time after I left, he had gotten a car. And I was like, okay, that's great. But apparently what happened was he ended up becoming homeless. So for a while, he was sleeping couch to couch, or he would sleep in his car. But now, mind you, I never knew this. So he
Okay.
never, even though me and him talked all the time, and I would look at his account because I had access to his account. So I would get paid, and I'd put money in his account. I was paying a loan that he had. I was paying his credit card for him. I was, even though he was still using the credit
Let me
card,
stop you.
I
Let me
was
stop
still
you again.
doing.
Let me stop you again because I want some clarifying information. Why
Okay.
didn't he if he was allowing you to help him in all these other areas, why wasn't he communicating to you about how dire his current situation was with not having somewhere to lay his head and anything else? If he's allowing you to take care of other parts of his life in terms of financially with the loans or the car and anything else, how come he didn't say to you, Mom, I'm struggling, can I come back home, to build on what's going on? Why was there a disconnect in your conversations with him? And if he was out there unable to live, did you know where he was when he wasn't with you, like where he was laying his head at? Like, why is there a lack of communication between the two of you?
Well, the thing is, I don't know if he didn't tell me because he was embarrassed.
Okay.
Because now, growing up, him and I had a really good relationship. It wasn't a thing where we didn't get along. My son was always with me.
I understand.
Or he would, and it wasn't because I made him, especially as a teenager. He could decide, oh, I don't want to do that. No, I'll go with you. No, Mom, I'm going. So I don't think, there were times when, now towards the end, I knew that he had given up the room he had, but the reason he told me was because the guy had bed bugs and he had to move out. But now, after a while, it became suspicious because my son was a musician, and one of the musicians that he was around all the time moved into the place he moved out of. And I was like, thinking about it after the fact, I was like, why would he move out? So it never dawned on me he didn't have a place. It wasn't a thing where he didn't have a place to go. We had friends and family that at any time, if he said, hey, you can come here.
Okay.
And it wasn't rules. It wasn't, but to give you an idea of our conversations, I would call him. I say, hey, how you doing? Is there anything you need? What's going on? We would talk. We would laugh about stuff. We would catch up and whatever. I would go back and visit almost every year. One particular year I went back, I stayed in the hotel, and I said to him, I'm going to take the car back that I'm renting the day before, and I'll stay with you for one night, because by then he was in his own apartment.
Okay.
So this was a few years after he was homeless. I'm going to stay in the apartment. He said, oh, okay, that's fine. The day before, I was supposed to check out of the hotel, or the day that I was supposed to check out of the hotel, which would have been, he said to me, Ma, I got to tell you that I don't have the apartment anymore. I gave it up, and I've been staying at his now wife's dorm. She was still finishing school, so he was staying in her apartment. And I said, well, why didn't you just tell me? So what I ended up having to do was, which it wouldn't have mattered. I just ended up, I took the car back. I was having lunch with one of my other friends. So she took me back to the hotel. I was able to get another night. And he ended up picking me up the day that I was leaving. We went and had, lunch, breakfast, or whatever, and talked and stuff. But I was like, why didn't you just tell me? He said, well, nobody knew except for her mom, because her father was, they didn't want her dad to know because he might have had a problem with them living
So,
together and they weren't married. Now,
so
mind
let
you,
me,
they bought a house
well, hold on,
while
let
they
me
were
jump in here. Let me jump in
engaged
here
and were
again
living
because
together.
her mom knew, and her mom didn't bother to call you to tell you what was going on with the married couple when they knew they were struggling.
Well, they weren't, at that point, they weren't married yet.
Okay.
They were engaged. They might have been engaged. I know they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but I think they might have been engaged.
Even still,
They
if
bought
they're
a
in a,
house
if they're in a
while
serious
they were.
relationship, the mom should at least called you because I think the biggest thing,
Especially since we had a conversation. Like,
yeah,
me and the parents talk to each other all the time too.
yeah, and
Like,
that's
for
what I'm
different
looking
stuff.
at. So I want to answer your question because I don't want to get away from the original question. Here's the thing. The abandonment feelings are his feelings, but what you have to do when you have a conversation with him is ask him, how do you feel I abandoned you? And then if he gives you realistic reason, if you go, okay, I could see you feeling that way. You explain to him why that isn't the case or whatever he tells you, because you can't do anything until you know what his reasoning is for why he feels the way that he does. That will then dictate what you offer to him, because if his feelings of abandonment are not connected to anything that makes sense, there is no answer for you, because then that's an issue he has to fix. But if he says to you, well, I felt this way because of how our relationship was, and you could understand it, not that you have to agree with it, but you understand it, then what the both of you have to do is restart the relationship from this point going forward. Okay, those things didn't happen, but from this point on, we're going to have better communication. We're going to do, and you basically just use the negatives that happen as the blueprint for what you're going to do going forward, because we can't get trapped up too long with the past because there's nothing that can be done with it. What you have to do is take your time and say, okay, going forward, because you still have to think about yourself in this too. But if you didn't do anything that's connected to what he's feeling, he's got to deal with his own emotions. You can still be mom and you can still comfort him, but you can't hold the weight of what he's saying until he shares with you what the weight is. Now, if he gives you something that you go, you know what, I did do those things, then you do the only thing you can do, apologize, and then y'all work on it from this point. And then it's on him to let that go, to let you be moms, and y'all can go forward. If not, there's not too much you could do. And I definitely would refer him to professional help, because he needs to be able to talk with somebody to be able to address why he's still holding on to the negative feelings today. And you go from there. And I hope that that helps.
It does.
Okay.
It does. The thing is, I think that most of this came up once his first child was on the way, and he felt as though, I think he was mad because, one, I didn't travel back right away to meet my new grandchild, but financially I couldn't.
If he's
I
if he's
made
not,
sure
no, go ahead.
I made sure that, I was present. Like, he said to me, well, you didn't even do anything or do anything for the baby shower. And I said, well, nobody contacted me. But also, he also knows that I'm not an over-the-top mom. And her mom is over the top. So I'm not spending $1,000 on the baby shower.
I got you. I'm gonna tell you this only because I think I'm gonna stop you for a second. I'm gonna stop here for a reason, and I'm gonna tell you why. The two of you gotta reevaluate your relationship, and you gotta reevaluate your relationship, and you have to make sure that he understands who you are and what capacity you are. You also have to make him understand that he's got to do for him and can't compare his expectations to what he wants from you if that's not where you are. I don't have to explain to someone where my money is. If you expect something from me that I can't do, then that's on you. It's not a me thing. But we can have a conversation. And then at some point, he has to figure that out for himself. You can't continue to engage in conversations that there is no answer to.
Right.
You can't fix him until he first acknowledges that there's a problem and two answers that he's willing to fix it. Because then you get caught up and y'all going back and forth and you go from there. Okay?
Coming apart.
Okay.
All right. Who just came in? Oh, Brittany just came in. All right. So I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, just send me an inbox. I'll gladly, if I can help, then let me know.
Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you for coming up. All right.
Can
So we
you
had
drop
somebody
me
pop up
down?
today.
I'm driving.
All right. Let's see here. Let me see if I know how to do that. Ellie, you know how to do that? All right. Ellie got it. There we go. All right. Brittany trying to come back up again. Thank you, Ellie. Because you know me, I can't work the back ends here. Hello, Brittany.
Hey, Mr. Keith.
Hello. How are you?
Good. So I got a question. So when I was 6 years old, my living cousin, who came up like a brother, he raped and molested me for a few months, right? So
well, remember we're on TikTok, so grape. You can't use.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. So I told my mom or whatever, and it got brushed under the rug. So for years and years went on. And for the longest, I thought that didn't happen to me until I got older and had a daughter who became 6, and things just started back coming. So I confronted my cousin, and he apologized. I wrote a letter. He apologized or whatever. And so then once he admitted what he did to me, that's when I confronted my parents. Well, the whole time I thought I never really told my mama about it, but I did. And so when I confronted my dad, he was like, yeah, I remember your mom, stated something about this. So long story short, now they feel some type of way that I try to have a healthy, keep a healthy distance with them. Because me and my daddy, I was a daddy girl. And so lately, it's been like a lot of distance between me and my parents. And they try to make me feel bad about it. Well, I'm not blaming them. I forgive everybody. It's just that I'm like, y'all got to give me time to heal and sort all of this through. Because for the longest, I'm thinking I was the only one that knew this whole time. Y'all all knew it.
Okay.
And so I'm just trying to make sure I'm not like overthinking it, or I feel like they're trying to guilt trip me to just push it under the rug. And it's not like I'm out trying to tell anybody about it. I just want to get the healing I deserve so I can move forward with my life.
And that's an individual thing. And you don't have to worry about how they feel about the way you heal you. Because you have to be okay with you. And if they let you down at the time when you were younger, you're now an advocate for yourself. You don't owe anybody anything other than that little one that's there with you, because you're acknowledging that you need space to heal. You're not keeping space just because you hate. And if you did, that'd be something that you work out professionally. One of the things that I would suggest, as I always say, is that professional assistance, just to make sure that you're not going around in circles or even blaming yourself or whatever the situation is. But yeah, if you got to keep your distance from somebody who didn't do what they were supposed to do in helping you, there's never a problem with that, because you need to be able to make sure that everything is okay. Because the sad thing, and I hear this a lot, and often it's because parents didn't know what to do. And then, like you just mentioned, they think it's going to get away from them and it's going to blow things up. I don't care. A child needs protecting. And if the child wasn't protected, now when a child gets to a certain age, you can't now be shocked that the child doesn't want to have anything to do with you, when the child realizes that, I got to protect myself. And now you have a little one, so you want to protect that little one as well. So no, I don't have a problem with you keeping the distance. And actually, if you need to disconnect, if you need to end communication for a little while just to be able to take care of yourself, to feel comfortable, you could do that too. But I definitely would say get professional help, because what happened to you is a very tragic thing, and it can have long-term influences in the way that we behave. And I definitely would sit down and talk with somebody just to make sure that you're heading in the right direction and how you are healing. So this way, and the fact that you and the cousin were able to get to a point where y'all can get to a place of forgiveness, okay? And you want to eventually get there with your parents, but if you're not there now, you can grieve or feel the way you feel in your time, as long as you're working in a healthy way. So, hey, Toya, I would definitely sit down with a professional just to make sure that you're doing things the right way, so you're not harboring a lot of negativity that you're not actually dealing with or possibly suppressing.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you for coming up. And thank you for sharing, because you didn't have to. And again, that was very tragic, but it sounds like you've gotten yourself in the right position. And I definitely would say keep doing what works if it's positive, and keep protecting your little one. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Take it easy. Ellie, I don't know how. Let's see. I'm still learning how. Okay, there we go. So again, thank you so much. I am Keith, the crisis specialist, and the moderator here is Ellie L, who's in here doing her thing. So I appreciate you guys. It is Friday, and Friday I do a check-in and Q&A. Any questions that you have, please come on up, have a conversation with me. You can put them in the chat if you like, or you can come on up and have the question directly to me. We appreciate it. Keep tapping the screen. We're at 37K. Let's get to 50K just because I like the number 50. And we're going to go there. That way it lets TikTok know we're over here doing our thing. So again, I appreciate the way the chat is handling itself. You guys are respectful. That's something that we try to do here. So again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. If you want to come on up, come on up. Because again, what I try to do is to create a safe space for whoever's here. This is a safe space, and this space is designed hopefully to offer some type of information, some type of healing, as well as entertainment, whatever we can offer here. So by all means, if you want to come up and talk to me, come on up. I'm here. Hello, Queen. How you doing? So come on up, or ask your question in the chat. You gladly answer it. What's up, El?
I don't know if you missed it. Honeybee had a question, or rather a comment.
Okay.
Someone mentioned something about passivity, sorry. Yeah, passivity. And the person more or less related that they feel that they're passive because of their upbringing in the church. So is that something that you would like to address or comment on?
Yeah, sure. I have a problem with that. Yeah, a lot of people, unfortunately, depending on how their church was ran, are going to take on certain personalities that the church pushed. And it doesn't always mean that it's correct. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people who allow themselves to be pushed in certain directions because of the church have not read their Bible, or they've been taught not to push back against leadership in the church. This is why we have so many books on church hurt that are being written out there. So one of the things that we got to be careful of is that some of us will take on church personalities and will allow abuses to happen that are just not justified. Male, female, male, kids, whatever. When the Bible covers everything, but you can't take a piece of it. If you're going to try to create some Old Testament way of living, then you got to take into account the New Testament, and you got to live by all of it or live by none of it. And so what happens in church, you really have to verify what you were being taught in church matches what the actual scriptures say, and be able to then coordinate your life around that. So the passiveness could have come from that. Church actually talks about turn the other cheek. So some people think it means allow yourself to be abused. The Lord never said allow yourself to be abused. It was just you don't return evil with evil. So these are the things that we have to have a conversation about. And often many of us who are clinging to the way a church teaches, we actually don't understand how to apply it in our daily lives. And that can create an opening. I heard when Akira had said in court that he was my husband and I was going to let him do whatever. I get it. And that's why a husband who understands that, who then takes advantage of his wife, is a problem, because she was trying to be what she thought a good wife was supposed to be. And here he allows this young lady to come into his home. He's having sex with her. She's out of control. And then when she finally got up enough urge to say, hey, are y'all doing me dirty? Yes. In her face. And again, that's the husband. I know we dislike Brene for what she said, for what she did, but understand she's not there if the husband doesn't allow it. Now, when you flip the coin to the other side of Devin, I don't know what his father's situation is. So he may have an issue with his anger. So he might have just allowed things to rock out, because he did say in court, silence prevents violence. So he might have said, if I let myself go, maybe I might hurt somebody. And then we also don't know at what point did it become a legal thing where they let them basically sink themselves because it was a legal strategy. We don't know. So I hope that answers the question. What do you recommend for dealing with CPTSD from an emotional abusive marriage and divorce? All right, hold on 1 second, because I always want to make sure I'm 100% correct in what I say before I say it. And I believe I know exactly what that is, but I want to make sure. And the reason why is because I want to see something. CPTSD. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Is it mental? Okay. So, the first thing I would say when you're dealing with PTSD, or in this case, complex post-traumatic syndrome, is to sit down with the professional to figure out where are you emotionally. If you were having someone lay hands on you, there's a lot of self-doubt and there's a lot of negativity that could be wrapped up in your current feeling about self. The first thing I'm going to say is, one, make sure you're safe. Make sure that person has no access to you whatsoever. Second, once you're safe, make sure that you're getting professional help to deal with the many feelings that come from the abusive spouse that you were with. And then make sure that you're telling your therapist, telling your professional about all of the different things that are coming up, whether it's your moods, whether it's your feelings, whether it's your fears, whatever it is, get all that onto the table so a professional. Now, you see what I just did where I stopped and said, let me make sure I'm correct. That's what a professional is going to do compared to some of these folks who just jump on and say, whatever, still in a fight or flight mode. I get it. But are you still with the person? You're no longer with them, right? I think it said you were divorced, right? I want to make sure I get the right information, because the fight or flight mode is no divorce. I got you. The fight or flight mode is what's happening at the time the trauma is abound. Right now, the emotions that you have is the trauma, the result of the action. The fight or flight is the initial. It's fight, fight, or flee, freeze. That's how we deal with the initial thing that happens. Now, where you are now is why you sit down and talk with a professional, because now you need to see how you address the feelings that have come from the trauma that you suffered. So first you have to make the trauma make sense, and then you have to make sure that you're not holding on to more than you need to, and that you let some things go. And then you need to be able to you need to be taught the skills on how to build back up your self-awareness, build back up your self-esteem, build back up your self-worth, and protect yourself from understanding that the trauma is over as long as you are safe. And now we have to build you back into whoever you see yourself now and whoever you see yourself being in the future, because that person did not end you. The person took you through it, yes, but now you're going to reclaim your life, build yourself back up by, one, making it honestly known to yourself what it was, but at the same time, creating a new plan of action for who you're going to be. And it starts with who you are right now. And I hope that makes sense. That's also why I wrote the book, 12 Steps to Recovering from a Toxic Relationship. I'll give you an example of some of the things that I wrote in the book. So if you look at some of the chapters that I put in the book, chapter 1 is accept your current mental and emotional position in your life. Step 2, pay close attention to how you got to this point. Step 3, don't blame yourself for your partner's toxic relationship. Step 4, offer yourself patience and grace. Step 5, face your pain. Don't be scared to accept your discomfort. Step 6, getting closure is on you, not the person who hurt you. Step 7, how to keep a supportive people around you and after getting out of a toxic relationship. Step 8, how to redefine personal happiness. Step 9, stay grounded in your current position. Step 10, how a person can care for themselves physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Step 11, practice self-kindness, speak life into yourself. And step 12, don't check in on your ex once out of your negative situation. You don't go back and look on them or deal with anything. Thank you. Yes, I'm safe. Safe haven. Seen him since haven't seen him since the divorce in 2020. Excellent. And then keep working on you. Rebuild you by positive words, positive affirmation, and finding new goals, new personal, physical, emotional, and spiritual goals for yourself. Become the person that you want to be by working on it now, so when you get there, you can enjoy every part of the journey that you created. I hope that helps. I don't remember much of my childhood. Is that normal? All depends on if a lot of your childhood had a lot of trauma, then the brain will black it out on purpose. So what I would do is sit back and take your time and think about how far you can remember and just try to gauge whether it was positive or negative. Maybe even talk to sister or brother if you have them, talk to mom and dad if you have them, and just try to piece back some of the things if you can, because depending on if there was any major trauma, sometimes the brain will block it out to protect you from the pain of it. So you might have literally just closed it off to yourself simply because your brain was like, you don't need to remember that. So I'm going to go for about another 10, 12 minutes, and then we're going to shut it down. Shout out to Ellie. Ellie, I thank you so much, love. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well, Keith. And I just want to let everyone on TikTok know that Keith is the real deal. Keith and I, we didn't know each other until we crossed paths on TikTok, but we're from the same generation. We're from the same borough in New York City.
Same area in New York.
And we have a lot of common interests. And, you know, he's not up here for clout. He's not up here to make a name for himself. He's already established in his own right, and he is a genuine person, and I can say that, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and I'm being sincere when I say this. A lot of people, you know, have a platform, and they're just irresponsible with the things that they spew out, but Keith is not like that. He truly is one of a kind, and he's a very gentle person. He's a gentleman, and he's helped me personally do some things that I had to deal with. So, you know, if anyone has reservations or anything like that, Keith is a bona fide professional. I just want to land right there.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I try simply because I try to be what I want to see. And so if I can do that, I recently remembered childhood trauma that I've had, blocked that out. Yes. And again, thank you, Ellie. I appreciate it. One thing with childhood trauma, remember, guys, the brain has filters, and those filters are designed to protect you the best that it can. And when trauma happens, the brain will shut things down, partition things off to try to help you go. Now, some people are triggered by sounds. Some people are triggered by smells. Some people are triggered by taste. I've even read a story where a person was at a church and the smell from the incense at the Catholic church they was at triggered him, and he was automatically taken back to where he was touched inappropriately by someone, and he had that conversation. I've seen, I've read about mothers who have heard their child cry, and the child was an adult, and somehow it triggered something in them to remind them that that was their child. The brain is a wonderful designed computer that we still don't know about in its totality. So I would say to you that the brain may have shut off things, or you might have just lived a full life that's full of so many experiences that you just can't go back to all of them. It all depends. But I would sit down and have conversations with people that you cool with from your childhood. Try to piece together as much as you can. So again, I hope that helps. So again, got about another 10 minutes. I'm going to shut it down probably around 6 o'clock, if not a little earlier. So again, you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I got you. Let me see what that says. I needed advice on how to help my brother mend his relationship with his children. What is the problem? What's the difficulty with his children? If you want to come up to ask me to speak directly, please do. Or what is actually the disconnect? How old? What are the ages of the children? I need a little bit more to be able to offer something to that. That's a very broad statement right there. Keep tapping the screen. Appreciate you. Hey, heart me. There we go. Let's go. Thank you. Keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 50. Let's get to 50K. Let's go. And if you want to come on up and have that conversation with me, come on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the hearts. Come on. Let's go. Oh, a galaxy. Hey, that's my first. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Who gave me that right there? Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. Is that Rosa? Oh, let's go, Rosa. That is my first one. How about that? What about fatherless daughters? Whoo, touching close to home there. Well, first we have to talk about why the father's not there. And then we have to talk about how you were raised without, you keep trying to request. Hold on a second. Let me see what's going on. Because I don't see. All right, let me see who's trying. Let's see who that is that's trying to get up here. Is that Pepsi? Let me see something, Pepsi. Let's see if we can get you up here. Pepsi says she's been trying to get up. There you go, Pepsi. I invited you up. Come on up, Pepsi. We sent you an invite. Come on up, Pepsi. So I would need to know like some of the particulars because it's a little difficult, but it all depends on why he's not there, what the relationship was, how old you were when y'all got separated, or if you've ever known him. There's a lot there to cut from. I would need a lot of information. And Pepsi, we sent you an invite to come on up. Oh, there we go. I seen somebody light up the screen here. Who we got here? Let's see who we got. Let's see who this is. Somebody's going to come up in Pepsi's place until Pepsi comes up. So, hello. Good evening.
Hey, Mr. Keith. How are you?
I am
Hey,
good.
Elsie.
How are you?
Good. So my dad also, he has mommy issues with my grandmother because they're from Savannah and my grandfather got a job in South Carolina and they took all the kids but him because my great grandmother wanted him to stay, so he has a lot of resentment towards my grandmother for that. Me and my dad live in the same town. He's never been there for any of his kids. I have 2 younger brothers by his first wife. Mind you, he's on wife number 3. My grandfather stepped in and basically took on that role, so he was my father. I don't know, like, I guess it was by choice, but the ironic thing is that he was an armor bearer for his pastor. So it's like you're sitting up there beside the pastor and then you haven't taken care of any of your kids. Mind you, I'm the oldest. I'm the only daughter. And to this day, people still don't know that he had a daughter. Like all my life, it's been, oh, I didn't know he had a daughter. Oh, I didn't know he had a daughter. It was like I didn't exist.
Got you. When's the last time you and him had a conversation?
Probably 2 years.
2 years
Like
ago.
we've never been like, we don't really conversate. The only way I saw him growing up is when he would come to my grandparents' house. Other than that, I never saw him. And he never like took care of me. He never sent child support. My mother never put him on child support. Like I said, my grandfather took up that role. He was like, told my mom, don't ask him for anything. Like, if you ever need anything, I got you. So my grandfather took on that role to be that father figure. And I was over their house either every weekend or every other weekend. And like I said, the only way I would see him is if he came over there.
I got you. So, Toya, I guess that my question would be, what do you want right now? What do you want, if anything, from him right now?
Nothing.
So then leave it alone.
I don't want an apology or none of that. But
I respect it.
The crazy thing is that my ex-husband was the exact person as he was.
Well, that's actually, believe it or not, a lot of times who we were raised by or who we have issues with sometimes can manifest itself in who we choose. We don't realize it because that's part of the damage that can be done in a child's life when a parent is just absent or just whatever. I had became my father and I had never known him. My father and I didn't reconnect until I was 39. And I'll tell you a little story real quick. I met my father at 39 after I came and gave my life back to the Lord at 37. So I needed to do that. But at 39, when I met my father, he had a bunch of kids. I had a bunch of kids. He was into full-figured women. I was into full-figured women. He was married and had his honeymoon. He was married in August. I was married in August. He had his honeymoon in Jamaica. I had my honeymoon in Jamaica. And we had never known each other, never even talked. So sometimes that DNA and sometimes the things that's in us can be passed. The key is once we come to the realization of what we want based on how we feel. Now, I'll be honest with you, and listening to you, it sounds like you're missing something, but if you're not, I get it. That's the challenge to yourself. If you want something, then I would reach out and say, we need to talk, but all I need to do is listen. Because you don't have, like, when my father and I talked, go ahead.
I've done that.
Okay.
He gets very defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Or he deflects.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it was probably I'm 43, probably in my early 30s.
I understand.
So I told him I didn't want an apology. I just wanted to understand, like, why you weren't there.
And he probably can't give you the answer because he doesn't know. He probably can't answer because you gotta, sometimes the behaviors actually are telling the story. So when we look at the behaviors, we go, why would somebody do that? Actually, that's telling the story. For it to get to that point, something had to happen. And you just mentioned about him having mommy issues ahead of time. So if he's not comfortable with women, then he may not know how to be comfortable with his own daughter. So the thing for you at this stage of your life, because you did have a man step in and to help balance things out. Same thing, I had a conversation with my wife. Her biological father was all over the place, but the man that stepped in to raise her is who she sees as her father. But she did reconnect with her biological father just to be able to have conversations and to learn who her brothers and sisters were who were out there. And then he passed away literally a couple years after that. So one of the things that I would tell you to do, with not having all the information, but one of the things that I would tell you to do is sit down and write a long, detailed letter with everything that you wanted to know, and just simply mail it, and then let it go.
I don't even know his address.
Fine, trust me. You know what church he goes to?
No, he went to a church down here, but the bishop moved to a church in Atlanta. So I don't even know if he still goes to that church. But you know what the crazy thing is, Mr. Keith, is that we don't talk. Like, he'll text me on my birthday. I'll text him on his birthday and say, you know, happy birthday. He'll text me on Mother's Day. I'll text him on Father's Day. But the crazy thing is that out of the blue, last year, he texted me and wanted my date of birth and my social security number so he could add me to his insurance policy.
You don't need the social security number for that. I sold insurance. You don't need the social security for that. All you need is the name, and the insurance company will try to track you down if he was to go away. You don't need the social for that. No, you do not.
But I don't know. It's not that I don't think he was doing anything fraudulent. It's just the fact that you've never had a relationship with me, but I don't.
No. But here's the thing with that is that might be his way of saying. See, you gotta understand is that communicating is a skill. And if you don't know how to communicate, you only know how to speak in the language that was presented to you when you were younger. So a lot of men, especially older men, were never taught how to deal with their emotions. So they don't know how to deal with negative feelings. So a lot of times they say sorry, or they try to speak in action. So in his mind, his action might have been, let me show you I'm trying to put you on my insurance. It's my way of saying I'm sorry. All that's good, but what we're missing is good old-fashioned communication of, please explain to me what you were going through. And here's the problem. And if he doesn't know, he doesn't know. And I mean, I'm not one to point fingers at anyone. Is that he doesn't know. All you need is information. And even if it's the craziest information on the planet, you'll then be able to fill in the gaps that you need for you, because not a lot is going to change once he puts it out there, but it could help you just to tie some loose ends up. But if he doesn't know how to do that, then he's going to do things. And some men and some women, it's like when two people argue and instead of saying, I'm sorry, you hungry? So, so that's the way to say you sorry. Like, here's your food. And I'm going to the store. You want anything? And it's like, and you start to understand the language. But if when it comes to father to daughter, mother to son, if you've never had that practice or you've never actually experienced yourself, and it goes back to what you started the conversation off with, if he's never had a quality relationship with his mother, he may not know how to have a quality conversation with you. And that's what you have to look at. So sometimes, like me, I was the person that healed the relationship between my father and I. My father kept his distance because he thought my mother and grandmother put salt in the water. They didn't. So I had to reach out to him.
That's how he is with my brothers. My stepmom, he thinks that she put stuff in his head. And the fact that me and his first wife, who I actually call mom, he hated the fact that we were close. And it's like, I don't know, mind you, now my grandfather that stepped in is actually my step grandfather. His father was never in his life, but I didn't know that my grandfather wasn't his dad until I was in high school. Like I have an aunt and two uncles that live in Savannah, and my stepmom is the one that actually told me and took me down there to meet them. And we had a conversation, and basically he was like, I'm not sure what you've been told, but I just want to let you know that I tried to be in your dad's life, but your great grandmother wouldn't allow me to. And I honestly believe that because that lady was mean.
No, you sound like you telling my story. I definitely understand. I do want to say this to you though, and here's the thing you got to realize. Sometimes reaching out, like you just said, y'all text each other, right? I would take the time and say, you're about to get a very long text. Take a couple of days with it. And then send a text, because you'll have that way of communicating with each other. Send a text with everything that you're feeling. And at the end of it, say, and if you want to talk, you don't have to worry about what to say. Let's just talk and figure it out. Because sometimes we have to lead a person to the understanding that I don't hate you. And if you don't have the words, I'm here to help you because I just want to hear it. I don't need it, but I would like to hear it just sometimes, just for the peace of mind for self. My father and I. Okay. And how's he
and that's when he didn't respond. And that's when I was like, I just accepted him for who he is and didn't have any expectations. But the letter that you told me to write, I actually did write it and then I burned it.
I know. And that's actually, a lot of therapists will tell you to do that. And that's fine. I think if there is a line of communication open, in this case, there is, I send it. And here's why. You're not just sending it for him. You're sending it for you. You put all your feelings into that text, you send it, that letter, and at the end you say, and if you want to actually talk, I am here to talk, and you leave it alone, and here's why. My father said he read the letter from me like 100 times, and he wasn't sure what to do, and then he decided, you know what, if my son is going to reach out and send me this letter, I'm going to respond, and that's what connected our relationship, and we've been together the last 19 years, connected to each other. And I think what happens is, I don't care how old we get, if we can connect with our children, or we can connect with our parents, it's worth it. My two oldest don't speak to me for various reasons, right? Because of who I used to be, but more so on lies told to them by their mothers. I can't fault them. If that's what you believe, I've apologized, we've talked. But what I've learned is I pray for them every night. You have to allow some folks to make it back on their own. And if they don't make it back, you still pray for them, because at the end of the day, that might be all that you have left for them until they let you in to be able to say, hey, I got your letter. Can we talk? Yes. And then with no judgment, no negativity, nothing. But it sounds like you've already gotten yourself into a good place. But sometimes that piece is good for you to be able to let go what negativity, if any, is there, but also to help him understand that if you want to talk, the opportunity is there. Because sometimes people have it in their mind, she don't want to talk to me, or she hates me, or whatever. No, sometimes a person actually has to hear you say, I don't hate you. I was waiting on you all this time, because he's losing out by not having access to his daughter. But also, you want to also, if you get the chance to talk to him, like you mentioned, find out, well, why did you choose that path? And you may hear something that you never even expected, which then could possibly change what you think, but it can't bring back time. So the reason why I say write it is because there's so many people getting up off this planet every day. Don't leave nothing on the table that you go, I wish I had. I guess that's what I'm trying to get to. Okay.
Got you. Thank you. I appreciate
Not a problem. Thank you. I appreciate you coming up to share that with me. All right. Does anybody else, and you can drop down if you know how. I think Ellie will let you out because I still don't know how to do that. Hey, there we go. It's 6 o'clock, guys. I'm going to get ready to get off unless anybody has any last questions. You can drop it in the chat or come up briefly because I am going to shut it down. I've had fun. It has been outstanding. Where we at? 45. Let's do this for the last couple minutes. Let's run this up to 50K in hearts. We only got 5,000 hearts left. Let's get to 50K as a sign of, oh, no, you're welcome. So let's do that. I want everybody for the next couple minutes tapping that screen. When we get to 50, we're going to shut it down for the night. I like the 50. It says a little something. Let's keep tapping that screen until we get to 50. And I want to say to all of you, thank you for allowing me the time to share with you. Thank you for coming on and sharing everything. Sola, thank you. Thank you to Toya. Thank you to everybody who came up and asked any questions. Thank you to all you guys who asked your questions in the chat, because I try to, like I said, I try to do this in a way that's respectful. This is always going to be and will always be a safe place for anybody that comes up. Thank you to all of you that have shared things about yourself. And we heard some things today that I am honored that you trusted me enough to share your history and stuff with me. Let's run this up to 50K, and then we're going to jump off here. And if you have a question in that time, put it in the chat real quick. I'll answer it, but keep tapping the screen. We're going to shut it down when we get to 50. So if you have a question, get it in until we get to 50K likes, and then we're going to shut it down for the night. And Ellie, again, thank you for everything. Keep tapping. Let's go. Let's get that hearts flowing across the screen, and let's get to 50K. I appreciate it. Power tappers, let's go. Let's go. Keep tapping. Keep tapping. Let's get to 50K. All right, we're almost there. 3,000 left. Let's go. Keep tapping that screen, guys. Let's go. I appreciate you. And yes, I love having conversations. Even though I talk all week, even though I'm sitting with clients all week, I love to end my week like this because it makes me feel good that I get to talk to you. I know I've been responding. And I also like that it wasn't all Brene and Tim conversation tonight. Thank you so much for that too, even though I'm here for that as well. But I thank you for that as well, that it wasn't all Brene and Tim conversation. So, and this will be up. If anybody missed it, if anybody's coming in now going, oh, I missed it, it'll be up on my YT page within the next couple of days. I'll probably post some videos up from tonight. Once I have it and I can download it, but it'll go up on the YT page within the next couple of days before next Friday. And we are good to go. I'm going to go take me an antacid. I don't know why. What did I have today? What did I eat today? I don't know what I had to eat. We'll figure it out. But come on, here we go. 48. We're almost there. Keep it going, guys. We're only there. 1,700 left. Let's go. Let's get to 50K, and then we're going to call it a night. Keep tapping. I would tap with you if I could. I ain't going about to pick up my other phone and do that. We're not going to do that. Keep tapping. I appreciate it. We're down to 19 people. Let's go before the room close out. Let's get to 50K, and then we're going to call it a night. You guys have been tremendous. Ellie, you've been tremendous. I've been seeing you working. I see you haven't lost a step. You work in the chat, Ellie. Way to go. I see your game is still tight. Your moderator game is still very tight. And if you have not shared this out, share this out to your page so somebody else can come by and take a look at it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are at 49. Let's go. The last 1,000. Let's go. Keep it going. We're at the last 1,000 hearts, and then we're going to shut it down and we're good to go. Keep it going. Once we get to 50, we're going to close this down. 49.2, keep it going. 800 hearts left to give. 700 hearts left to give. Keep it going. Hey, there we go. Yes, tap, tap, tap. Let's go. Keep it going. 600 hearts left to give. We're almost there. 500 hearts left to give. 400 hearts. Keep it going, guys. Keep tapping. 300 hearts. I have no idea. Oh, we're over 50. I'm back, guys. I have no idea what happened. I'm back. I have no idea what happened. My other phone seemed to have froze, so I went on the backup phone just so I could say goodbye. I see we're over 50. So, Ellie, I figured you would still be here. So, listen, guys. Thank you. I wanted to say, and I hate when I don't get a chance to say goodbye the right way. I want to say good night and thank you to everyone. Ellie, I appreciate you so much. I will see you guys next week. Any questions, feel free to hit me up in my inbox. I got you. If you are interested in personal therapy, I think I got 1 or 2 sessions left. All you got to do is go to my bio and click on Discovery Call, and we could do that. All right? Listen, have a wonderful night. God bless, guys. Take care. A new follower. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I like it. Hey, there we go. That's cool.